Good morning. Monday morning. Let's start the week. Y'all, this could probably be a to be continued of my more fiery lesson. And I don't want this one to be real long. I gotta go get some groceries soon, so we're gonna try to bust this one out before me and my son got some errands to run. Y'all, America's under attack. I'm sure I'm not the first one to ring this bell, but I'm gonna ring it a little bit differently. We've been under attack. Some would even argue, since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, we've been under attack. And you know what? I'm inclined to agree. But it ain't by the typical enemy. It's not the redcoats. And it ain't the brown people crossing the border. You want to know who we're under attack by? They're the ones that are dressed up in suits that work for the government. They're the ones that have badges on their cars with funny symbols, that do little wink, wink, nod, nod, hand gesture symbols to each other, shake their hands in funny ways on front of the TV, on the camera. Y'all, America's under attack by a grand enemy with a big G, capital G. Huh? I made a point, I've made it a couple of times, and I'm going to hit it again. How many people who work for our government are also members of the Masonic organization? We need to know that number. I would argue from your highest military, most decorated official to your elected officials, all the way down to your county and city maintenance worker and school janitors, the Masonic organization has infiltrated and saturated our government with their own agents. How many? Did you know that organization keeps their active membership registry secret and can get away with it? They don't reveal their members till way after they're dead. Too late then. I don't see how it's not been perceived as a conflict of interest. You know, Freemasonry isn't an American organization. Did you know that? They like to paint themselves as patriotic, but they're loyal to no nation. They're a global organization. There's one everywhere, all around the world. I would say every single country. They have a global ideology. Not loyal to any particular nation. Couldn't you see how this could be a conflict of interest? To have people in such high places knowing certain sensitive information about our national security and yet be a part of such a global organization. I would argue and say you might as well have folks who are loyal to the UN in our military. Why not? If we're going to just do things like that. This one ain't going to be a popular message. I'm probably going to get some heat for it. But I don't care, because the truth is the truth. And what's right is right. I don't see how it's not a matter of national security to have so many people who are supposed to be loyal to our nation, to America. That's why they took the job, right? But be a part of an organization that forces them to take oaths of secrecy. And yet the membership can be hidden from the layman, the taxpayer. How many teachers you think are Freemasons? Been seeing a lot of teachers getting in trouble for inappropriate things with kids, haven't we? Really been seeing that a lot with any government employee lately. This isn't a new thing either. Y'all, it is time we start demanding some answers, asking hard questions. How many government employees are also Freemasons? We need to know that answer. And then we really need to ask if it is in our best interest to have people who are loyal to something else, supposedly serving us, serving the people. We also should be asking things like, how much money are we spending on pensions? How much tax revenue goes to pensions? People want to complain about people on welfare. The only people that I'm mad about that are on welfare are the ones that work for the government and don't do anything. That just sit and keep the chair warm so that they can get out and collect a pension and a paycheck for the rest of their life for some mediocre work. That's the welfare I'm mad about. How much do you think that salary is that they get to collect for the rest of their life? Still get that government insurance. Woo-wee. It's sickening. I've worked a lot of jobs. I've never had one that offered a pension. I'm just 401k in it, IRA in it, like everybody else. Not to mention, these guys don't even pay their own debt. You ever think about that too? They would want to brag about, oh, we got some debt forgiveness for people. We're so good. But the only people who qualify are those who work for the government. You got these people collecting a paycheck for doing such a sloppy job, just sitting there butt in a chair, sliding people on down, don't even want to talk to the taxpayer, don't even want to look at them. And then they don't even have the financial. They can't even pay their own bills. Can't even pay their own debt. No, we'll just put that on the taxpayer. Where do you think that goes? Do you think it's just the bank just drops that? Oh, well, he's government, so like nobody pays it. I guess we'll just eat it. No. We eat it. It's sick. And then they have the nerve to start companies. They'll start their own company and then use their influence to gain business for their own LLCs that they're associated with. Or maybe it might not be them directly. Maybe it'll just be a cousin or a brother or a friend who the company will have it under. But who do you think's making the money in their back pocket off of that? Huh? And then will convince us, oh, well, we need new infrastructure. We gotta put cameras on every single corner that have high-speed internet access who can read your license plate and match you to it. Oh, but I can't. And then at the same time, they'll tell us they can't find these missing children. They have the technology to watch you through your phone constantly. Anyone who's ever been targeted will know that they're watching you. Somebody can listen in every single word you say if they want to, illegally. But when it comes to legally finding missing children, I don't know, we can't find them. They just slip through the cracks. It's disgusting. Wake up, America. I'm sure there are some good people in government, maybe 1 out of 10, and they're on their way to being corrupted. I'm sorry to look at it so cynical. I really wish I could look at it in a more positive light, but time and time and time again, we have been betrayed by those who demand for respect and admiration and accolades, painting an illusion that it's for us. No more. I got ran out of my own town because I knew too much about the corrupt government organization, what was going on there. I got to know all the guys who hang out at City Hall. I wish I hadn't. Because you know what? They're wicked. They're cheats. Oh, yeah. I made a bid to run for city council. And I started to gain support. And I got ran out of my own little tiny hometown because too many people were afraid that, oh, Matt's he's going to say too much. And yeah, Matt would say too much. I sure would. It's time. We need to demand more transparency. Where is this money going? How much tax revenue does the government collect? Your property tax, your income tax, sales tax, ad valorem tax, car registration tax. Come on. How much? But yet we're always in a deficit. Well, you think part of the reason is because we keep paying for people's salaries even though they don't work for the government anymore? How long do you think they live after they retire? Do those pensions affect any of their dependents too? Are they inheritable? Has anybody looked at any of these contracts? We need an audit. A serious, thorough audit. How many employees and elected officials in our government are also members of the Masonic organization? I'm talking about your Freemason, your Blue Lodge, your Shriners, your Scottish Rite, your Odd Fellows, Skull and Bones, Eastern Star, Daughters of the Nile. Come on. There's more. Job's Daughters. Wicked things. God saw it all, though. That's one thing. And they seem to just, they have that all-seeing eye that they like to put on their walls. But they don't seem to think about it. That all-seeing eye is watching you. And it saw what happened. Watch out for the goat. One day they're going to remember your carrot. And they're going to feed it back to you. Have a good day, America. God bless you.